Good morning, dear students of class 7. We have discussed actually the chapter 4 from History Mughal Empire. Okay, so today we will discuss about this chapter from our next part. We have discussed about the Babur, Humayun, Sher Shah Suri, Mughals' relations with the rulers, this all. Now today we are going to discuss about the Akbar the Great. Okay. So in the right side you can see that picture. This is Akbar the Great. Okay. So Akbar was born in 1542 CE in Amarkot when his father Humayun was a fugitive there. So Akbar was born in which year? The year was 1544. Okay, and where? In Amarkot. When his father Humayun was a fugitive there. What is the meaning of fugitive? In your last page where the keywords are there, fugitive meaning is already given, but still I am telling you that fugitive means a person who has escaped from captivity. Okay, that means what is the meaning of that exactly? That means Akbar's father maybe was in jailed. Okay, so he was actually that time he was escaped from the jail or prison. Okay. So after that sudden death of Humayun in 1556 CE, Akbar was crowned as emperor at an early age of 13 years. So in which year Akbar was crowned? Crowned means you know the the kings and queens they wear in on their head. Okay, that is the crown. So Akbar was crowned and as emperor at an early age of 13 years. His tutor, that means teacher, okay? His tutor and mentor means also who teaches him. Bairam Khan. So who was his mentor or and as well as tutor? Bairam Khan. Took care of the empire till Akbar was 18. So from 13 years to 18 years, Bairam Khan looked after Akbar and he was his teacher as well as mentor. When Humayun died, so after the death of Humayun, two of Sher Shah Suri's nephews, okay, so two of Sher Shah Suri's nephews, one is Adil Shah and another was Sikandar Shah. They tried to take back Delhi. Okay, so they tried to, they planned how to take back Delhi. But Hemu, Adil Shah's able general, occupied Delhi and Agra. So after that, their plan was succeeded and Hemu, Adil Shah's able general means you can say the chief. Okay, so they occupied Delhi and Agra both. Bairam Khan and Akbar, they met Hemu in the firstly fought second battle of Panipat. So in the second battle of Panipat, who met with each other? Bairam Khan and Akbar, they met with Hemu in 1556 CE and defeated him. So 1556 battle of Panipat, second battle of Panipat was held and defeated him. Okay, Akbar then shifted his capital to Agra. After that, Akbar shifted his capital where? In Agra. Now, in 1560, okay, when he was defeated, then after he shifted his capital to Agra, then 1560 Akbar freed himself from the guardianship of Bairam Khan. Okay, so actually in the age of 13 to 15th, who was the guardian of Akbar? Bairam Khan was tutor, mentor, and all as well as guardian of Akbar. But in 1560, Akbar freed himself. Akbar himself, he told to Bairam Khan that no need to take care of me, so you no need to keep as a mentor for me. So Akbar freed himself from the guardianship of Bairam Khan and ruled independently. So he was, as he was adult that time, after he ruled independently, after consolidating his rule over Delhi and Agra, he conquered major parts of Rajputana, Kashmir, Kabul, Sindh, Odisha, and Kandahar. These all names are important, and you must be remember this name. So what happened that after consolidating? So what is the meaning of consolidating? It's mean brought together as a single or whole. So that means when he got the whole rule over, when he rule over the whole Delhi and Agra, that time he conquered, that time he owned major parts of Rajputana, Kashmir, Kabul, Sindh, Odisha, and Kandahar. Akbar constructed the Buland Darwaza to commemorate victory. Okay, so he constructed Buland Darwaza, and why actually? It is for the celebrating the victory. Commemorate means celebrate. So for celebrating his victory, he was made Buland Darwaza over Gujarat. He also built Fatehpur Sikri near Agra. So he was built Fatehpur Sikri near Agra, and for means he wanted to celebrate his victory. So for that reason, he was made Buland Darwaza. Now Akbar's conquest. Akbar made a plan of expansion and set out on campaigns. Some of them are described here. So now we came to know about the plans of expansion. Okay. Yes. This is the box, and in box written the as per year which part he was conquered. 1560 CE Malwa, 1564 Gondwana, 1568 Chittor and Ranthambore, 1560 Gujarat, Bengal and Odisha. With these victories, Akbar established the overseas trade with the Arabs, Southeast Asian and Chinese. 1576 defeated Rana Pratap, son of Rana Uday Singh of Mewar, in the Battle of Haldighati. He also brought Berar, Khandesh and part of Ahmednagar under his control. And last 1581 CE to 1598, Kashmir, Sindh, Kandahar and Kabul were conquered, giving way to closer trade relations with Central Asia and Persia, and made northwestern frontiers secure. So this is the whole scenario that the Akbar made a plan of expansion. So his expansion plan is given here. So this is the scenario. Okay, in this box you must be remember the dates and which part he was conquered. Now our next part is administration. Now we came to know about Akbar's administration. Abul Fazl, who was the wazir and historiographer in Akbar's court. This person is Abul Fazl. Okay, so Abul Fazl, who was wazir and historiographer in Akbar's court, wrote the Akbarnama. So who wrote the Akbarnama? Abul Fazl. It is a rich source of information. So from this Akbarnama, we got various informations about Akbar's life during the Mughal period. Akbarnama had 3 volumes. How many volumes? 3 volumes. In its last volume, Aini Akbari, Abul Fazl discussed broad features of Akbar's administration. So, in the last volume, that means the 3rd volume, Abul Fazl has explained or discussed about Akbar's administration. Abul Fazl explained that the empire was divided into provinces called subas, governed by a subedar. Okay, so who look after the subas? Subedar. He was the governor, you can say that time, or the leader or the head of that subas, who carried out both political and military functions. Each province means you can say the small areas, okay, which each province also had a financial officer or diwan. So who was appointed in a financial, as a financial officer, he was known as diwan. For the maintenance of peace and order in the province, the subedar was supported by other officers such as the military paymaster. Paymaster, in the his another name was Bakshi. The minister in charge of religious and charitable patronage was known as Sadar. Military commanders known as Fauzdar, and the town police commander known as Katwal. So these all are their another name. They known in their another name. Okay, sometimes they call military commander, or sometimes they call Fauzdar, sometimes they call the town police commander, or sometimes they call Kotwal. So in this way their name has been given. To bring about great order in military system, Akbar introduced Mansabdari system. So he introduced one system, it was named Mansabdari system. That is a system which consisted of a liturgy of rank or officers. In 1574 CE, Mansab in Arabic means rank. So he was actually made one system, it was actually a rank system. So that means rank, he given some ranks, like in your school there are also ranks like principal, vice principal, teacher. So these are the ranks. So here also he has started one system, rank system. Every civil or military officials, those who are known as Mansabdar, was given a jagir or piece of land according to its jat or rank. The Mansabdars drew their salaries from the revenue of the jagirs. So whatever revenues they got from the jagirs, it was their Mansabdars drew their salaries. So they got their salaries from the revenue of the jagirs. Now our next part is Rajput policy. Okay, so this part we will discuss our next video. So thank you.